Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today is a very special day. I am once again collaborating with one of my favorite YouTubers, maybe my favorite YouTuber, Nikki Gets Fit. I know a lot of my subscribers, my followers, my friends love Nikki as much as I do. We have collaborated on a video in the past where we shared our favorite sweet and salty snacks. So I'll link that video down below for you. I will also link Nikki's channel and Nikki's Instagram. So if you don't follow her, head on over, subscribe to her YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram, show her some love because she puts out absolutely amazing content, WW content, calorie and macro content, lots of good snack hauls, recipe videos. She is just such a special person here on YouTube that I highly recommend, if you're not already, that you head on over and follow her. And today's collab is a little bit different than our last one. We are focused on fall-inspired protein recipes. We're going to have a savory recipe and a sweet recipe, carrying on the whole savory sweet vibe from our last collaboration. Each of us has a savory recipe for you and each of us has a sweet recipe for you, all fall inspired, all packed with protein. My recipes will be on my recipe website. As always, I will put my website at the top of the description box. And again, I'll link all of Nikki's social media accounts for you so that you can head on over, follow her, and grab her amazing recipes as well. Also down in the description box, you will find nutrition coaching. I do offer personalized macros and calories. Highly recommend. This is how I've lost and maintained 140-pound weight loss. If you're new to my channel, if you came over from Nikki's, I do count calories and macros and then WW as well to lose and maintain 140 pounds. So I do have quite a large recipe arsenal on my website, so definitely check that out, as well as nutrition coaching, links and discounts to my favorite things. And I have a free Facebook group. We would love to have you. It's very amazing, very supportive. We have just under 30,000 members, so we'd love to have you come and join us there as well. And a big special welcome if you came over from Nikki's channel. I hope you subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and join my Facebook group so that we can become fabulous friends. So let's go ahead and head into the kitchen for my savory and my sweet fall-inspired protein-packed recipes. The sweet pumpkin fall-inspired protein-packed dessert recipe, we're making white chocolate pumpkin protein blondies. I cannot wait for these, so let me show you what you'll need. So I'm actually going to use the Kodiak protein flour. Unfortunately, this is no longer available. They discontinued this several months ago. I have no idea why. It's a bit of a bummer. You can see I'm almost out. I will, down in the description box, list out how you make your own protein flour. You can make it at home. Super, super easy. So I'll put everything down in the description box for you. I will be doing that as soon as I'm out of this one, which it looks like after today's recipe, I may be out of my protein flour. Speaking of protein, you're going to need protein powder, vanilla protein powder, and this is from MudWtr. Now, I love MudWtr everything. If you follow me, you know that MudWtr is one of my favorite supplements. Their protein powder is amazing, amazing for baking, and it is super affordable. So again, this is the vanilla. It's 100 calories per serving with 20 grams of protein. Now, I do have a 20% off discount code for MudWtr. I'll link it down below for you, and I'll also list out some of my favorite things from the MudWtr website so you can add those to your cart as well. They do have a vanilla protein and a chocolate. I'm using LAKANTO granulated as my sweetener. I also have a 15% off discount code for LAKANTO. That will be down below. You'll need non-fat plain Greek yogurt, pumpkin puree. These are white chocolate chips from Lily's. Nut butter of your choice. I thought this would pair perfectly with this recipe. This is from another one of my favorite brands, Clean Simple Eats. Actually, that's my favorite protein powder for shakes is Clean Simple Eats. I usually have some of their powder every day, and they make nut butter as well. And this is their pumpkin spice with pecans nut butter. This is a 10 out of 10. It is so, so good. So I'm going to use this in place of just plain almond butter. I will link Clean Simple Eats for you as well with a 10% off discount code. pumpkin spice, and baking soda. So to get started on our blondie, I have my half of a cup plus 3 tablespoons of protein flour and then half of a cup of the MudWtr vanilla protein powder, 3 tablespoons of LAKANTO granulated pumpkin pie spice, and half of a teaspoon of baking soda. This is a full teaspoon, so I'm going to do half. And then mix that together to combine the dry ingredients. Then we're going to add our 1 cup of canned pumpkin and 1/2 of a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And then stir to fully combine. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our Clean Simple Eats pumpkin spice nut butter. And then go ahead and mix that in. Be mindful not to overmix because the protein powder will make your blondies gummy if you overmix. So just fold in the nut butter. Go ahead and add in most of the white chocolate chips. Reserve a little bit for the top and then lightly fold those in. Spray a baking dish with some nonstick cooking spray and then add your brownie mix and press it into place. And then lastly, we're just going to sprinkle the white chocolate chips that we reserved right on top. It's going into a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until you can insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. So our blondies are out of the oven. Wow, look how good these look. My house gives all the fall vibes. It smells amazing in here. I will go ahead and put points, calories, macros, and serving size here on the screen for you.
So for my sweet fall snack, what I'm going to be doing is apple cinnamon rolls using 2-ingredient dough. I have apples that we just recently picked from apple picking. These are Honeycrisp, and I'm so excited to do some baking with them. And cinnamon rolls are one of my favorite desserts or just foods in general, so I'm super excited to make these. They're going to be a little higher in protein because we are doing 2-ingredient dough using non-fat Greek yogurt. And then to that, I'm also going to make it a little bit differently this time, and I'm going to add some protein powder. So this is just the protein powder I'm using. It's the brand Bloom, and I'm using the flavor vanilla. So I'm just gonna use a scoop of that, and then I'm gonna take out some of the flour from the normal 2-ingredient dough that I make. So instead of doing 1 1/3 cup, I'm just gonna do 1 cup of flour with the scoop of protein powder. Then I'm gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder like normal, and then a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. So I'm gonna make the dough using that, and then the filling is going to be just apple cinnamon. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up these apples, and I'm gonna cook them up on the stove right now. I'm gonna cook them in a tablespoon of butter, and then I'm gonna add some cinnamon and sugar. If you want to use a brown sugar replacement, you definitely can, but I actually prefer to use this, which is kind of a brown sugar replacement, I guess. It's just organic brown coconut sugar. It is 1 point for a teaspoon, and for this recipe, I'm gonna be using about 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the filling so it can sit to cool, and then I'll make the dough and assemble the cinnamon rolls. So as you can see, I left the skin of the apples on. I just prefer it that way. You can definitely peel them if you'd rather do that. But I have the tablespoon of butter melted. Then I added the apples in and 3 tablespoons of the brown coconut sugar. I also added a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I just mixed that up until it's cooked, usually about 5 to 7 minutes. Then I'm just making the 2-ingredient dough. So I start with a cup of all-purpose flour, a scoop of vanilla protein powder, a teaspoon of baking powder, and then a little bit of cinnamon. I did about a half teaspoon. I just mixed that to form a dough, then I flatten it out. I just used a little bit of extra flour so that it was easier to roll. And I was a little impatient with the filling. I should have waited just a little bit longer for it to be more cool, but I just spread it out on the cinnamon roll dough and wrap it up. It started to melt the dough a little bit, so just let it cool a little bit longer. Okay, I can't make these cinnamon rolls and not take a bite, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna eat directly out of the pan like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one of these. Oh my gosh, it's got the perfect crisp to the dough. So here is a bite of it. Adam's gonna freak out when he has one of these. So this batch made 6 cinnamon rolls, and each cinnamon roll is 6 points on WW, and you can see they're a pretty big size for 6 points. They've got a good amount of apple in the middle. It doesn't have as many swirls as a normal cinnamon roll because there's so much in the middle, but it's perfect because it adds enough juiciness and flavor, and it's so good. So if you don't want to add the protein powder, you can just do regular 2-ingredient dough with the flour. But I also recommend adding some type of like cinnamon or vanilla or something to the dough to just kind of sweeten it up a little bit. But this is it, 6 points for these. Each one has 10 grams of protein, and that is it.
Thank you for joining me for today's video in collaboration with my good friend Nikki Gets Fit here on YouTube. As I mentioned in the beginning, I will link my recipe website, all of Nikki's social media accounts. Definitely subscribe to her YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram. And again, if you're new from Nikki's channel, a big, big welcome, and make sure that you follow me as well. I'd love to have you join my amazing supportive community. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn your bell on, and don't forget to check out that description box for everything I shared with you today, Nikki's account, my account. And thank you so much for watching. Welcome new friends from Nikki's channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.